I wanted to give kind of a walkthrough of it actually in action so you can see some of the metrics that it pulls. So just a reminder again, Einstein and Marketing Cloud uses AI to analyze data and provide insights and actions that you can take to improve marketing communication efforts. And so we're, rather than enabling it in all business units, we're just going to enable it in the business units that plan on using it. So for those that are interested in having it enabled, once it is enabled, the insights can be found under this Einstein button. And just a note here, it does take or can take up to 72 hours for insights to populate once it's been enabled. So they won't be available immediately, but this is where they can be found under this button. And before I get into that, I know some people have had questions between or around the difference between Einstein and Datarama reports. So the most simple way, Datarama is more focused on reporting and can drill down into specific email sends and determine the success of a particular effort, while Einstein uses AI to make recommendations based on generalized subscriber engagement and behavior trends. So that's kind of the major difference between the two. So just to show you, the Einstein overview tab here gives a high-level summary of all the various features that are available through Einstein. So that's engagement scoring, messaging insights, send time optimization, engagement frequency, and copy insights. So here's the kind of main dashboard that gives a high-level summary. And from here, you can click into each widget to see more details, and it'll take you to that specific features dashboard. And then you can also click on this details button, and it will give you more information on the data that's being pulled in. And this little eye next to each title of the widget, if you hover over it, will give you kind of a definition of what information is being pulled in here. And in some of them, if you click on the eye, it will take you to a Salesforce resource that explains it more. So that's the overview dashboard. But to go into some of the other features and give some examples of use cases, I'm just going to start out with engagement scoring here, since it's the first one listed. So this one uses constituent data and machine learning to provide predictive models that assign scores for each contact's likelihood to engage with emails. So this is information for everyone that's in the business unit. And Claire, I know you've been doing a lot of research and work on Einstein too. So if I get anything wrong or if you have anything to add, feel free to jump in. So yeah, here's the different widgets that are available in this feature. And like I said, the data input is from emails sent from your business unit or the business unit that Einstein is enabled in. And the data outputs are likelihood to open, click, and unsubscribe. And so a couple use cases for this one, you could segment subscriber lists to identify and target specific audiences based on their engagement likelihood, and use the feature to identify an unengaged audience and launch a campaign like a win back or a we miss you campaign to re-engage them. And here, same thing, you can click view details to see more information. I know that this can be overwhelming seeing it for the first time, but really once you get in there and click around and see it for yourself and see some of the details, it starts to make a lot more sense. So messaging insights, this one for the UCCS Alumni Relations Business Unit doesn't have anything available right now, but this can also be navigated to from this little Einstein guy up here. So this is where a notification will pop up if an anomaly with communications has been detected by Einstein. So let's say engagement rates are a lot higher than typical or a lot lower than they typically are. There'll be a notification that pops up here, and you can click into it to see more information related to the anomaly. And so the insights allow you to take action on results that are higher or lower than what you're expected. So if you, let's say, for example, get one that had high engagement, you could determine what from that message you could repurpose. And the same thing for if it had low engagement. Was someone going to say something? No. Okay. I thought someone came unmuted. But yeah, those will pop up here, and I think they'll also be available here on this dashboard. Like I said, UCCS, the Alumni Relations Business Unit doesn't have any right now, so there aren't any available to see.
Lauren, if you wanted to share in the University Relations Business Unit, we could look at the, September President's Newsletter. I think we looked at that one here, right?
Oh, yeah. I wonder if it's still, I don't know if how long they stay.
Well, even if it's the October one, we should have some data in here.
Let's see.
And Tom has a question too while this is loading. Tom's asking if percentages are configured by us or distributed. And Tom, I'm assuming that by that you mean is Einstein itself saying that loyalists fall into certain percentage categories and that we're not defining those, right?
Yeah, I was just, and again, I didn't want to raise my hand or interrupt, because I didn't want to interrupt the presentation, but yeah, I was wondering, it's gone now from my screen, but loyalist had 35,000. And I was just wondering if, and I think Claire mentioned that was based on open rates. And I'm wondering if the AI is looking at our open rates in our unit and saying, well, the average open rate's 25%. So anything above 25% is a loyalist. Or can we set that and say, you know what, I want a loyalist to be 42% and above, or, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Claire, do you know if it's, from my understanding, it was something that is set by Einstein. Do you know in any of your research, did you come across if that's something that can be set?
Yep, you're right, Lauren. It's set by Einstein's model, and we can't customize that.
And that's fine.
But it will definitely, like, if you were wondering specifically a subscriber why they were a loyalist, you could go, their Einstein engagement scoring populates into a data extension on the back end, and you can see what their engagement score is and what factors are contributing to that as well.
Sure, okay. And we just tell you to turn this on. I mean, I see a little turn on button and I keep clicking on it, but it kicks me back out.
Yeah, I was going to show you. So we have it set up where on the submit a ticket page, if you go in and click Marketing Cloud and then Einstein,
Oh, great. Yeah.
this little resource is going to pop up. And so we
Awesome.
just need people to fill out who is asking and what business unit it needs to be turned on in. And then Claire will do batch. She'll enable them on, I think we said Mondays every week. So that will be the process for requesting it.
Maybe this is inappropriate to say, but I think I'm just peed my pants.
Oh,
Sorry.
phenomenal. That's awesome, Tom.
I feel like we're a close enough group here. Huh?
Welcome, Lissa.
So here's one of those anomalies we were talking about, and this is for the president's newsletter. So a lot of information here, and I know Jen and I were talking about it and trying to decipher what it meant, because it was kind of our first time looking at it. So based on the information here, the expected open rate was 65%, and the actual open rate was 24%. And so then down here, Einstein provides some contributing factors, and it will give this signal strength means how big of an influence did the factor have on impacting the open rates. So here, more subscribers opened the email on Saturday than any other day. And this email was sent on Friday afternoon or evening. So kind of a consideration here would be, should it actually be sent on Saturday? Since most people opened it on Saturday, even though they received it Friday evening. Another one, email sent to gmail.com generated more opens than others. So those are just some of the contributing factors here that could have impacted the actual open rate versus what was expected. I'll go back to alumni relations business unit to talk about send time optimization. So like Claire was showing, send time can be added as an activity in a journey to send emails at a time when constituents are most likely to engage with the email. So that adding that step in the journey, they go through that and then it will assign a time to send the email. And that can be as broad as within 24 hours of the day. So say you wanted to send on October 28th, you can say for the full 24 hours, send it at the time that the individual is most likely to engage, or you can narrow it down to a custom time frame, or there's 4 hours, 6 hours, I think 8, 12 different increments that you can narrow it down between if you're wanting to send between business hours. And then you can also come to this dashboard and just see a high level. And I know we used this with the advancement journey that Claire was showing. For their email, it needs to be sent out to everyone at the same time. They all need to receive it at the same time, and it needs to go out on a specific day. It needs to go out on Friday. So we looked in their business unit and went to this little chart here, and this is UCCS, but we looked at Friday for advancement and looked at which bar was the highest and decided to schedule the email to send at that time. So that's just one use case for send time optimization, is to look at it that way. You can also do it based on data extensions. So if you go to the, there's a preview, and this would need some more instructions later down the road, but just at a high level, under the Einstein overview, there's a place where you can preview send time optimization by data extension to see when would be the best time to send to an entire data extension. Here we're looking at all email addresses in a business unit on this dashboard. In the journey, you can do it on the individual constituent basis, and then you can also look by data extension to see the best time to send. And then down here, you can also just select, if we're wanting to look at a specific day, we can select Thursday, and it will show you what's the best time to send in that day. Let's see. I know this is taking, I don't want to take up all the time here. There's just so much information to cover. Engagement frequency here is another feature of Einstein, and this shows how saturated contacts are in the business unit. So here, this one kind of needs to be taken a little bit of grain of salt, because it's not taking into consideration all of the emails that are sent to people throughout all of the business units. It's just in this business unit. So a contact might be on target in this business unit, but that doesn't mean that they're not getting other emails from other business units. But as you can see here, it shows how many contacts are on target with messages, saturated or undersaturated. And Einstein will provide an insight like this one based on your contact's preferences. Sending 3 emails within 7 business days moves undersaturated contacts to on target. But again, this is just for emails sent from this business unit, not all business units. Okay, I think last one. Copy insights. So this one is cool. I think it's for the subject line. This one will provide engagement rate above average, average, below average insights on subject lines that have been used. And it will also show, similar to that messaging insights with the anomalies, this one will show what impacted, what had a positive or negative impact on engagement rates via the subject line. And Claire's also working on turning on a feature where you can test subject lines before using them, where you could put what you're thinking about using in here, and it will tell you, it will give you some insights on what engagement could look like if you use that subject line. And I think that you'll be able to do it in this dashboard, but also when you're actually building the email. I think Einstein, from my understanding, Einstein will give you some insights in the actual email build when you put a subject line in there. All right. I think that that's it. Again, for people who want it to be enabled in their business unit, just go to the submit help ticket, Marketing Cloud Einstein, and then add the name of the business unit that it needs to be enabled in on this spreadsheet here.